Roll up gas. Yeah. Roll back, baby. We early today.
You're welcome.
Early show. Another episode, Roll Up Gas Podcast. We are in the motherfucking building. What's good, fellas? What's poppin'?
Shit.
Just fucking do the goddamn show. You know what I'm saying? You know who the fuck it is. You're watching.
What?
What's going on in the goddamn world today?
Oh man, I don't know what's going on. I stopped watching the news.
That's probably for the better. Probably for the best.
Oh, I sleep better at night.
When you don't watch the news?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Makes sense.
Ignorance is bliss.
I like watching funny videos before I go to sleep.
I think I'm gonna start reading books before I go to sleep. I heard that's supposed to be better for you than watching TV.
Reading books?
I mean,
I guess it depends.
Heard it helps you get to sleep faster.
Can I read a digital book?
I guess.
it wouldn't be any different than watching a screen.
That's true.
Then if you're looking at it on your phone.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always gone to sleep with the TV on and I sleep fine.
You know what helps me go to sleep?
What?
This right here.
Tang.
Well, that too, obviously.
Wu-Tang.
But no, Poontang.
Oh, they said Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang helps me go to sleep.
I was like, oh, shit.
Wu-Tang!
You know what's funny? I don't have a TikTok account, but you know how World Star always has
I watch
fucking
TikTok. The only TikTok videos, I watch are like
through Reddit.
third party or through some other app.
Yeah.
I get a goddamn TikTok.
Yeah, I don't have a TikTok either, but I seen one the other day that had me busting out laughing. I was like, God damn. It was like things black people do. And the very first one was this bitch was on the couch like all like dressed up for sleep, picked out a movie. As soon as the movie turned on, the bitch turned over and went straight to sleep. I said, yeah, I do that.
Yeah.
Dude, I do that same
I mean, that's
shit.
probably just people in general.
Then the next one was this nigga in the grocery store.
I knew you didn't smoke.
Pardon me, folks.
Oh, God.
It was, next was this nigga in the grocery store. It was like things black people do. And this nigga was like reaching all the way in the back and getting the shit out the back. You know what I'm saying? The milk in the front, nigga getting the milk out the back and shit.
That's just things people do. None of these things have anything to do with black people. I feel like
I thought it was
does
funny
that.
though. I thought it was funny. Because obviously he was being over the top with it.
Right.
You know, that shit was hilarious though. That bitch turned the movie on, went straight to sleep. I was like, yeah.
I don't know. It just, to me, it would make more sense if they just didn't have they couldn't think of another angle than just to say black people or something because they're black.
Bro, I do that
probably.
same shit. Like, I
But-
put a movie on and I'm like, oh, shit.
I mean, I guarantee, like, if you polled the country, people of every race do that shit. And I don't think that that's like a black stereotype or anything like that, you know?
Might be.
Oh, these black people always looking for the milk at the back. They don't want the one at the front because it's been there longer.
Bro,
Been touched the most.
Bro, I can fall asleep to anything. We watching Dunkirk on high volume.
Max Volume Dunkirk.
Go to sleep watching the 1995 Source Awards.
Bro, you ever fall asleep watching a movie and then wake up and forget what movie you was watching? Then you watch it again like the next night.
You ever be in such a deep sleep that when you wake up, you don't remember where the fuck you at?
Be all right, wait, where am I?
Oh, fucking panic like in the middle of the night. Oh, shit, where am I? Oh, I'm in the comfort of my home.
Oh, thank God.
All right, back to sleep.
I mean, there's times I've fallen asleep on the couch, wake up, all the lights are on, fucking 3 o'clock in the morning. That shit sucks.
Then you
That's
go
happened.
and then you go in the kitchen.
Go in the kitchen for a nice
then
glass of milk.
Nice glass of... Big fella, you ain't drank milk since episode 95. Or what episode?
Yeah, whatever one was the chocolate milk challenge.
I've had those like protein ones.
Yeah.
Like, I try not to drink the other shit anymore, but the protein ones don't taste horrible.
Yeah. Big fella, you was on one.
Hey, you know. I was in it.
Well, there's a interesting topic I was thinking about.
What's that?
Watching YouTube videos and shit like that. That kind of made me think and wanted to get your guys' opinion on. Do you think shame, just as a concept, is good or bad, really, for society?
Well, I'm going to start off by saying, as of now, we have no shame because people would literally do anything for clout. But I feel like having some kind of, I don't know, I feel like it could be good and bad. Good because you have some kind of sense of like morale, I guess. Like, oh, I don't want everybody to know I'm.
I mean,
everybody, mama.
Yeah, it would be. That is the main way I think morality is enforced is through shame.
You know, but I feel like,
and you want to have morals as a society.
But also it could be bad because, you know, for example, think about the LG whatever community. You know, back in the day, you know what I'm saying, they had to be, you know, secret and shit. And now these motherfuckers have a whole month, so necessarily they don't have to have that shame anymore, which is good.
Is it?
I mean, to an extent, because now I feel like they kind of going overboard, you know, hence our nigga right there from the last episode.
Right.
Science!
Yeah.
Because, I mean, everybody has bad apples, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure there's some cool people from that community.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like there has to be balance.
Yes.
Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should you be ashamed of everything? No. Should you want to keep some things personal and be ashamed, you know, I don't know what the fuck you got going on in your life, but certain things should be private, I would assume. But I don't know. You know, I feel like everything is about balance. I feel like we too out there right now as a nation.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, everything's a bit ridiculous.
Like, let's dial that shit back a little bit. Let's just be more humble. Cause like I said, you know, to my fact with the LGBT community, these motherfuckers got children books now trying to like influence kids to like, oh, am I gay? Like, you know,
Wait,
that's always been my beef. Just leave the fucking kids out of it, you know?
Yeah. For
Just
sure.
let kids be kids. Go outside, read a book, play a game, play with your friends, play fucking, I don't know, basketball.
Well, then where do you think the levels should be? Because I would agree with you that in our current modern era, there seems to be a lack of an extreme lack of shame.
For sure.
And
all you got to do is
a lot of, I don't know what the statistic would be, but I would assume a lot of people would take the opinion that shame is just a bad thing. The less shame, the better.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm an 80s baby, so, you know what I'm saying, we just grew up different. That's just how it was. You know what I'm saying? We grew up with ass whippings, and we were, you know, not necessarily brought up to be ashamed of things, but we were just we were brought up a certain way. Like
without even realizing
if you went to school and you didn't wash your ass, you was ashamed, like, oh shit, oh fuck, like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's
shit like that.
That's shame.
But it
because
like,
people would make fun of you, and you wouldn't
do that shit again.
What shame is you taking the opinions or the preferences of society or other people, and then imposing them on yourself.
Talk your talk, King. See, I was hyping him up right there.
I'm not looking to be hyped up there.
I know. I was being extra. Keep it the podcast light, folks.
But I'm just saying that's what it is.
Yeah.
As a concept, it seems.
I don't know.
But I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. Some people would look at it that way and be like, "Oh, well, then that's bad. You can't just do what other people want you to do." But if like there was zero shame in a society, it would be chaos.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You need to have order.
Exactly.
And morality is a way of,
because you know what I'm saying, look
non-violently.
Here's a good example. Not to interrupt you. There's spectrum to the shit. like on America, we on the far left, and like China, they're on the far right. You see how like strict and like they lock their motherfuckers down. Like they have virtually no freedom over there.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily quite that extreme, but it is more fucked up over there for sure in certain aspects. But I get your comparison, but they're definitely, the only way to non-violently enforce morality and some sort of order in any society, shame is required.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah. Now,
I think
I feel like I still have shame. Like,
I mean, a lot of
all of us do.
A lot
You
of
wouldn't,
people don't care.
if you came here in a dress, you would be shameful because you wouldn't just do that.
no,
Because in your head, you would be thinking, well, what's everybody going to say? And they're going to say this to me and everybody's going to make fun of me. And like,
They're all gonna call me.
that's you feeling shame and
yeah.
or whatever the fuck. Not even an extreme example like wearing a dress. If some weirdo, like those shoes we saw, those fucking Converse, weirdo Converse
Yeah.
shoes we seen. Like,
yeah.
if you wanted to wear those or whatever, you'd be like, oh. Like if secretly you actually really like those shoes and we pointed them out like, oh man, look at these goofy ass dumb ass shoes, and you're like, yeah, those are dumb. But you really like
I went
you
back
would
the
be
next day to go get them and shit.
right. But then you would be shame, which that's not necessarily a good aspect of shame. Like, I mean, that's minor. Like, I mean, if you wanted to fucking wear some shoes, you should
Yeah,
whatever the fuck, wear the fuck
I mean,
shoes.
I think-
But
I
at the
think-
same time, us ripping on you
Yeah.
for wearing some goofy ass shoes, that's part of the
But-
game. And like, it's up to you whether or not you are comfortable enough and confident enough in your decision to wear those shoes, whether or not you actually feel shame. Because if you're like, man, fuck y'all, these shoes is tight, I don't give a fuck what y'all saying,
Right.
then it doesn't matter. But if you're like, you guys are ripping on me, stop it, and then you fucking, I hate these shoes, you know what I'm saying? Then that's,
What?
you're not taking it well.
Right.
That's, you know.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think it's society though. Nobody, like, a lot of people just don't give a fuck. They don't,
For sure, it's something that's necessary.
like morality is down. Fucking morals and ethics and all that shit. Like, people just don't care. Like,
dude, I honestly,
like I seen a video the other day. They showed now, by all means, if you're about to get some coochie, get some coochie. But they was doing it in like the project hallway. Like, this dude came home from work and there's just two people fucking in front of his door, and he's
they're like, have you no shame?
right. He's like, bruh, I'm trying to get in my house, and they're just like, oh, sorry, you know. Just
Yeah,
like,
that's ridiculous.
like you're in the hallway of an
yeah,
apartment.
I understand. Get
Like,
in
what
the apartment or
fuck, like,
What is
get
going
in a
on?
car, get in a hotel, go in the bushes, go behind a dumpster.
like, you shouldn't do it right
the
in front of
bathroom.
somebody's fucking. Like, that'd be like you come home from work and there's just two people fucking on
On the porch. Yeah, like, hey,
Hey,
what
hey.
can I watch?
And they're just like, oh, you
Go
know,
around the back.
my bad. Like, they're not shameful. They're not fucking embarrassed. They're just like, oh, you know, like, Jesus.
Well, one of the
happens, you
things that led me to kind of want to discuss this topic, I recently seen this quote from, he's a German philosopher from back in the day, Nietzsche. He was commentary on culture and society and shit like that or whatever. But one of his quotes from one of his books, it says, what do you consider the most humane? To spare someone's shame. What is the seal of liberation? To no longer be ashamed in front of oneself. So he's saying, like, a lot of people, I don't necessarily know what exactly he meant by that, but a lot of people will infer, like, okay, well, he's saying, yeah, shame is inherently, it's just a bad thing, because to be ultimately free is to be free of shame, You know what I'm saying? If you're not ashamed of who you are, that's how the only way you can be your true self is to be fully unashamed of who you are. But I would argue that that's not always for the best. For someone to be fully, there's a time and place for everything, and shame, I believe, has a place in any well-organized, well-ordered society, I guess.
Yeah, you just can't go to your job and be like, hey, everybody, I like watching fat bitches fight over food on Pornhub.
Right. You should.
That's all.
It's okay if you like doing that, but maybe you should feel a little shame about that you don't want to go announce that to everybody at your day job or whatever the fuck, you know?
Right.
But I don't know. I feel like we have in our current society lost, maybe to an extreme extent, lost a lot of shame, and in turn, I think would mean morality. And as much as it, not necessarily that it doesn't pain me to say or anything like that, but I think I've been wrong just in a different way about religion and society. I think we fucking need that shit. Not every person necessarily
needs religion,
needs to go to church and stuff like that, but as a culture and as a society,
yeah,
I think humans are naturally a theistic creature. Like they're seeking some sort of God or creator or something greater than them.
I mean, some people take that shit to the extreme.
For sure. But I think in absence of some sort of religion, whether it be Judaism, Christianity, Islam, whatever, then it inherently it just creates itself it generates itself in some other fashion.
I mean, churches,
because you can argue that younger, and not always necessarily so young, but people of today's generation, the woke ideology is very religious.
Yeah.
And these are all people who shun the belief of God and any type of religion and that kind of thing. But it's got to get replaced with something. And so they're extremely idealistic about their beliefs, and they preach the good word of critical race theory and transgenderism and stuff like, it's very similar to any other kind of way a religion would operate.
I just thought of a very funny scene from a movie that deals with shame that we can all relate to. I think it's called The Wood.
The Wood?
We've all seen The Wood.
It's been a long time, but yeah.
Ago, yeah.
And if you've seen The Wood, you probably remember this scene where I forgot the main character was Omar Epps, but he was like a young kid at the time, and he was in class and he seen that girl that he liked, his very first day, and his dick got hard, and his teacher made him stand up in front of the class, and he had his binder in front of him.
I mean, that's like a common trope. Like a lot of TV shows and movies have done that. But
I'm saying, that's a level of shame. Like, oh, show everybody don't see you.
Yeah, I mean, that's a level of shame. But I mean, that's just funny, being young. I mean, that's funny, and there's nothing wrong.
That is an example of shame, though.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you got to hold it together. I mean, yeah, because we've all been there that time.
Right, but see, me personally though, if I was in say I enrolled in a class or something, and I was sitting next to some fucking big titty fine ass bitch or whatever the fuck, and I had a boner in class, and I had to go up to the board to do something, I wouldn't give a fuck. I'd be like, yeah, I was just talking to this bitch. I would want to show her, I would want people to see it. You know, I'd like try to make it stick out.
I mean, I guess it just depends. I mean, like when you in like, you know, like 6th, 7th, 8th grade. and
Right.
shit, like
You know, you're more weirded out about it. But
going
me, I'd be like, I want her to see this.
what's happening?
Maybe she'll
Gonna
catch it,
find out
catch an
today.
eye on it.
Something's happening.
I wouldn't be ashamed of that.
I mean, yeah, I guess to an extent. But
Something's gonna.
But do you think Will Smith is ashamed of what he did?
yeah,
You think so? Genuinely? You think he genuinely feels like shame? Like,
I
man,
think
fuck, I fucked up.
I think.
I wish I didn't do that. Like,
fucked his money up for sure.
Well, I mean,
Did he?
I don't. But he's got plenty of money.
that's what I'm saying.
Like,
what do you mean?
My thing though is, I think deep in his heart, like this is what's funny. I think deep in his heart, he was like, "Fuck, I shouldn't have slapped this nigga." But
In my heart.
part of him as a man needs to understand that his wife is for the streets and not him.
Facts.
Yeah,
Like, cause of all the crazy shit. Like, have you ever seen that interview
Sorry,
where
Will.
she was talking about like
I'm not.
she
That's
never
the truth.
like she
You can't
never
be sorry for telling.
like where
somebody
she
the
was
truth.
like, I never wanted to get married, and like, you know, fucking we cried at the fucking all that shit. Like,
she's a crazy person.
she's a nutcase.
Yeah, but you can't completely absolve Will Smith of
No. But
any
I
wrongdoing.
think Will Smith.
Absolutely not.
I think he went back, sat down, like when he's by himself, and was like, "Fuck, I shouldn't have done that."
I don't know. I don't know if that's
But
true
I don't
because
know.
I mean, after he did it,
Okay.
he sat down
Talk your shit.
Yeah,
and then
What'd he do?
yeah.
Chris Rock was like, "Dude, it's a G.I. Jane joke." And he was
Wait.
like, and then he yelled again,
Yeah.
"Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth."
But that's in front of everyone,
right.
though.
And
Generally was
then he was like, "Dude, I will," or whatever the fuck. And then he sat through the rest of the show. Then he proceeded to receive an award,
right,
given a speech,
right,
and
right,
me.
right,
Oh, everybody feel bad for me.
right. But I mean,
And
obviously we.
if you are generally, I mean, could be wrong, but generally, if you've done something and you're like ashamed of it, maybe I could be wrong, but I mean, in retrospect, I mean, he could think back and later on, maybe in the moment he wasn't ashamed of it. Definitely in the moment, it didn't seem like he was ashamed of it, or for the rest of the entire night.
I'm just saying, when the night is over and he goes back home and he's by himself, like maybe he had a sight reflection of like, fuck, maybe I should.
Maybe he did, but I
don't know.
I have a less and less. What's the word? I'm having. I mean, yes, but less and less
Because
I'm giving people like Will Smith or
Right.
these famous celebrity people. I'm giving them less and less
Like credit,
of
like sympathy, empathy.
not necessarily sympathy. I don't know why the fuck I can't think
Like,
of it.
have you ever been in a situation where
I
not
said respect,
like
nigga.
where
And it's not
you're
necessarily
like
that.
like will you go back
The
and-
benefit of the doubt
right?
is, I think, maybe what I'm looking for. I'm giving them less and less of that because they're proving to be more and more insane, narcissistic people who are disconnected from reality.
Right. And I think what disconnects people from reality
Is when you have literally everyone from the time you're a young child, 16, 15, whatever the fuck,
Yeah.
sucking your dick,
Yeah.
nobody telling you no, never feeling shame for anything that you do.
Well, I think some people do. I think it gets to a point to where you have so much money that part of you like
I don't think everybody.
No,
I
not
don't think
every-
it's necessarily
no,
money
I'm not saying it's
that does it.
but I'm saying when you have the amount of money he does,
Mm-hmm.
I think part of your brain just goes into the, like you said, like you're not shameful, you don't give a fuck, like you don't care what anyone thinks.
I don't think it's the money that has done that. I think money is just a result of the path that he's been on.
right.
But it's the way he's treated. It's
right.
everyone, which money has something to do with that.
Right.
Why the people will treat him the way that they
Because
do.
I mean, you look
But
at it.
if you're a person and if
Yeah.
you were 16 and you're on top of the fucking world, you're a millionaire at 16,
Most def.
and everybody, you can have anything you want.
Most def.
Everybody sucking your dick,
Right.
literally and figuratively.
Well, see, and I mean,
And it's like that your whole life until you're 50, whatever the fuck. And no one's ever told you no. That is the reality that you know. You say
yeah.
something happens and it happens. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
I do something and people love it, whatever it is. That unless you would have to be an extremely like well-adjusted, like I don't know what would have to happen or what type of psychedelics you'd have to do to be
But
able
see,
to
I
go
don't-
through all of that and then still be a normal person who's just like, oh man, like nah, it's all good.
I think.
I'm not gonna. I can't just assault
I
somebody.
think.
That's fucked up.
I think Will Smith has been cool up until the last maybe 10 years. Like,
We just haven't seen it.
but that's what I'm saying though.
We
But
haven't been
I'm-
able to see it.
But I'm just saying
social
though,
media has given us the
I-
opportunity to see all of these
most
people
deaf. But I'm just saying
for
though,
who they
I
actually are.
I think his wife fucked him up.
For sure.
Like,
but he's been
mentally-
fucked up.
Mentally, I think she's fucked him up a lot. But again,
But it's not all her fault.
Because Will Smith hasn't been in the news for stuff like, we'll take fucking Kanye for example. Like when you break up with your wife and then you buy a house next door.
Right.
Like that's
a crazy person.
That's the ultimate crazy person.
Right, but these are all recent things. We
But-
wouldn't if Kanye was doing all of this in the 90s,
Yeah,
we would barely know about it.
true.
There would be newspaper articles and shit or tabloid hits that we wouldn't fucking read.
For sure. I
And-
mean, there was. I mean, yeah, I can't tell
You
you.
know, so
anything that-
because of social media, we don't know what the fuck Will Smith was doing when he was 21
I don't know.
in his 20s. You know what I'm saying? Like,
21.
if Will Smith had Twitter in his 20s and was able to tweet out whatever the fuck his thoughts were
yeah.
at the time, we might all think he's a crazy, insane person
I mean, I just
for the
think-
entire time.
I think people who are celebrity status, like level 5 celebrity status, who have lots of dough, are just generally crazy.
Not always, but I mean, as a generalization, I mean, I would accept that.
Like they just do crazy shit.
I heard
Because I mean, if you look at like what his wife was like, like not even his wife's mom, his mother-in-law,
Mm-hmm.
like what she was teaching her, and then passed down to his kids. I mean, look at his kids. Like
they're ruined.
they're all
They're
fucked.
aliens.
They're crazy people.
They're space aliens.
They're space aliens. But like,
His
and
older
then
son is cool.
I doubt it.
He's not a celebrity.
Yes, he
Just
is.
a regular
His
person.
parents are
I don't know who he is.
Will Smith and Jada Pinkett.
I don't
Smith.
know who he is. All I know is fucking.
He's
Jaden
managed to
Jaden and the other
stay
one.
out of.
What was the other one? Willow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, his oldest son is just not even on like.
yeah. I mean, do you understand the level of narcissism? Where, okay, we're gonna name the boy kid. We have to have kids both named after us, so we'll name the boy kid after me, and the girl kid after you, or whatever. So you have instead of Will and Jada, you have Willow and Jaden. Like, that's fucking crazy already, right there.
Most def. I mean, like I said, I don't know their family, but just from what I see as a person on the outside, like I said, Will Smith's done some. cool
Jada
movies.
is definitely an
they're-
insane person.
I think
100%.
I think she is.
It is not
level
all of her
10
fault.
Crazy person. I think it's her mother.
Maybe she has.
Her mother was teaching her all kinds
No,
of crazy shit.
I'm saying it's not all her fault that Will Smith is a fucking crazy person.
No, I think Will Smith is too, but I don't think he's on the same level of crazy as she is.
No.
All right, so you gonna smash or pass on Jada?
Well, of course I'd smash.
Just for the story.
Yeah, of course. What are you talking about?
Come on now.
That's a stupid question. How dare you ask me
trying to
something
keep the topic
stupid like
light.
that? No.
Trying to keep the topic light.
It's like
Yeah, I mean, come on now. Like, there's a lot of crazy ladies in the industry, but
Here's an interesting comparison I heard, and I want to see if you guys would agree with it. That essentially today's like all the Hollywood famous actors and stuff like that.
Yeah,
they are in a way royalty of our country. They're pretty much the same thing as like how the princes and, you know, different royal figures would be treated. Back in the day, they don't necessarily have quite as much power as royalty, but they've got a good amount. I mean, money.
Jay-Z and Beyonce and shit.
Yeah. I mean, Will Smith. I mean, all of them.
I think
people worship them.
And I
people
think,
would worship the king and the queen.
and I think that's because like with social media, like
You don't.
like
But you know there are women who their whole thing is Beyonce, 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 or dudes who
there's a lady.
they
All right,
love. They
So-
would. They want to be Beyonce.
though.
big fella.
That's my
I
nigga,
saw
though.
a video the other day. Now, do you know who Young M.A. is? Like that.
That
Dyke bitch?
Dyke bitch.
The Dyke bitch, right? So
Hey, they
there
be
you-
roasting.
I
her.
find
So-
that very problematic.
So they showed this girl was doing a video on her whatever, and
I seen that shit.
I was watching this, and she got kicked out of this girl's like after show party, whatever the fuck you call that, after show party, because she was underdressed.
Okay.
So they asked her to leave, and this bitch was hysterical, like falling apart, crying, and I was like, for this fucking bitch who can't even rap, like, relax, my nigga.
I just
So a fan
Yeah,
got
it was a fan.
got kicked
Like,
out of the after party
Right,
of the
because she was-
the dyke bitch
Yeah,
rapper.
because she was underdressed. So
Okay.
they're like, you go. And dude, she was just mad hysterical, crying, freaking out, like all over the road driving, because she's driving doing this video. And I was just like, bruh, is it that fucking serious?
no, but people nowadays are
But is
Children.
is it more in the younger folks, or is it?
no
'Cause I
because
think- I think
it is
the-
younger.
I think the older you get, like just for myself, the less I give a fuck when it comes to like you said, like seeing a celebrity. Like when you're like when I was like 15, you know, I went to see both those. I was like, holy shit! Like this.
Yeah,
is the
but
shit.
you still wouldn't like freak out and like if
No, but you have that just like. Oh
I mean,
my
yeah,
God,
it's
that's
cool
a
to see.
Like, or when you see a celebrity out in public, like I saw Tech Nine at the mall. I was like, holy shit! Like when I was young.
Yeah.
But now it's just kind of like, who gives a fuck? Like,
Right.
But I think
it depends, I think, on who it is.
I think the older you get, though, like.
You have different people that you would freak out if not necessarily freak out, but if you seem like like nigga, if you was walking down the plaza, you seen Elon Musk, you'd be like, oh shit, nigga, that's Elon Musk.
Yes, but
yeah, you want to say what's up to him,
right,
Yeah.
but it's I don't know. I mean, maybe
Nigga,
if
perfect
it's the
example.
level-
Me and you went to that Currency concert and we were outside smoking because the nigga hadn't made the stage yet, and the nigga came off the bus to go look at some lowriders.
Yes, but
And I
if
played
they,
it cool as fuck. I was just acting like I was rolling a weed, but inside me, I was like,
you were like,
nigga!
right? But if they ask you to leave, would you start fucking crying
No.
and falling apart?
no,
All right,
but that's different.
I'm just saying
It's not
because there's people who like, for instance, debating sports, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we could talk about it and be like, oh, cool, whatever. But there's people who talk about it who don't even get paid to talk about it, who fucking freak out about it.
yeah.
Like they're like, oh my god, this guy, I want to suck his dick. Like, whoa, nigga, like slow that shit down. But I don't know. I guess just me, like, when it comes to celebrities, I'm just like,
yeah, but I mean,
like I'd be like, hi, how you doing?
that's
You're the
I don't
shit.
think that that's necessarily the majority opinion. You know what I'm saying?
But I think in the younger
Like the
generation,
way that celebrities are treated.
nowadays, like, but from the younger generation,
I mean,
Shit, think
really,
about like
in-
Michael Jackson.
no,
stats
I mean,
back in the
even
day.
from the
Yes.
beginning of
Michael
celebrities,
Jackson literally did anything he wanted.
from the beginning of
it was weird too.
right.
That
But
fucking
from the
clip you
beginning
showed
of
me the
Hollywood,
other day,
yeah, where
him
Oprah's trying to talk,
Doesn't even matter.
but Michael, okay, so I was
Don't even.
I was trying to ask you though,
about it,
but
cause
Michael, could we about your allegations and the
get ready to come and fuck you up.
Jesus Christ.
but they are treated like royalty. nowadays.
Right.
And we're not even nowadays. It's been like that since the beginning of Hollywood. Since Humphrey Bogart and fucking all these old school motherfuckers, they're people who they're higher than thou. Nobody tells these people no, like, because they've got so much money and like, well, maybe I could get some of his money if I say yes to him.
And that's how it goes.
Think about how R.
man.
Kelly got away with it for so long.
Right.
Like, I mean,
they like money.
And that's how it goes everywhere. It's money. Money is the root of fucking all the shit. Because, I mean,
it's not the money necessarily. It's
but sometimes it can. Like, you could
greed or
like, bro, like you could be waiting outside of a restaurant for hours.
The addiction.
Like hours to try to get in. And some celebrity pull up and he could walk right in. They'll clear a table off. Boom, VIP guest.
Yeah, because money.
Everyone loves money.
Makes sense, but is also fucked up. It's not fair, but life isn't fair.
It's not. Most definitely. Just like, I mean, if you go to like, if you're a celebrity and go to like a theme park with your kids, like it's front of the line every time.
Yeah, but I mean, I can understand from like that to a certain extent, but yeah, is that? But I don't know though. Is that good?
But also,
should they get special? I mean, if they're willing to pay more money, like if they're like, hey, I'm gonna pay I'm in this line. I don't want to wait in this line. Here's $100, so me and my kid don't have to wait in this line, and they can pay the money.
But
I don't necessarily have a problem with that. But if it's just like, oh my God, it's Jay-Z, get up to the front of the line.
Sometimes it's like
which
that. Sometimes
that's pretty much always how it is.
Because you could be rich.
That you get things for free when you have more money.
Right.
One personal space.
Two personal space.
Because
Y'all niggas.
Because you could have money and nobody knows who you are. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't necessarily get any special treatment unless I flash a little cash.
Right. But they can flash just based off of looks.
Because
like,
of
who am I?
Celebrity.
Oh shit! Come in here. Everyone suck his dick.
Everyone gather around. Suck this penis.
Jay-Z's here. I'm like, oh God, no. Why'd I have to work today? I don't want to do this. But yeah, I mean, celebrities are treated fucking.
Okay, I have a interesting question for you guys. Do you guys think that inherently, or what's the right way to phrase this? Like,
real niggas.
All of us have a certain level of evil inside of us. Capability of evil.
Thought you were evil. Now
based upon whatever specific morals and situations that we have.
This nigga. Hey man, we gotta talk to you, man, because sir, you walked in smelling like it. You're over here philosophizing.
You walked in smelling like it.
What? But
I think
hold on. Let me get
that the other day.
Let me get my question out. Do you think that all of us have the same level, or that like we could all in the given certain circumstances could be reduced to the same level of evil, or
I think so,
or that it's different. Different people have different levels.
I think
what prompted my thought in this question was there was a guy, I can't remember exactly who, I think he was a Soviet general, or maybe not Soviet, but some sort of military general.
Okay.
And I think he was in an internment camp, like in World War, like a Jewish internment camp. And he survived and got out, and then I later became a general for one of the other fucking factions. Yeah, that's fine. And he pretty much believed that because he's seen people fucking eat each other and shit. Because like, if it's you're gonna die, you're gonna starve to death, but you could murder this person and eat them. Like, that's a grand evil for sure. Do you think that level is in all of us?
I think based on
It have to be
I think when it comes
dire,
I think
dire
when it-
situations.
I think when it comes to survival,
Right.
that's different.
That's what I'm saying.
evil is very evil. I think if you have
Evil is very evil.
I think if you have a choice, because
Evil is very.
You
powerful.
always have a
Well,
choice.
in an
Kind
internment
of.
camp, you kind of don't. But
You do. I mean,
I'm saying just like in general, like the other day, I seen a video. They showed this dude, and I mean, he got arrested, but he used his girlfriend's fucking Uber account, got an Uber, lady picked him up, and then he robbed the Uber driver.
mm-hmm.
She had 4 kids.
Wow,
Sounds cool.
Wow,
She had 4 kids.
Real ass
and
dude.
She's like, bro, don't shoot me, blah, blah, blah. End of the ride, he killed her.
Damn.
Right. And she was like, man, I got a family. And he's like, so do I. And I'm like, but you're not in the point of desperate survival to where you have to kill this person.
Damn.
in his mind, maybe he was,
So to me,
but that doesn't make it
but,
right.
but to me, that situation is evil.
For
Oh, he gonna go.
I
100%.
think, I think
when they
other
find out what he did in there, he gonna. He
I
gonna
think
pay that
other
price.
people are evil based on
Guaranteed.
reaction. Like, for instance, if you're inside chilling, right, and fucking you see some random neighbor adult beating your kid up,
Yeah.
the evil in you is going to come out. But is it in a good way? Because of what is happening, like, is it justified evil? Because I know
I mean,
if
that's kind of the point.
Because I
There's
know
all
if I
a
looked
certain
outside,
level.
like if I looked outside and you're my neighbor and you're just like got my kid just punching him in the lips, like I'm gonna come outside and you might get shot.
Yeah, but that would be
Chopper
wrong.
won't miss a nigga.
But
I'm missing you.
do you? Okay, so the ultimate question would
Why you
be:
bring
Do
up
you?
the drops?
Is there a situation? Do you think could you ever murder, not just kill someone in self-defense,
Just
but
murder them?
unjustly murder someone to eat them to survive?
The situations would have to be very dire.
I mean, it'd have to
Like
be 'Cause
post-apocalyptic,
In nature,
like-
animals do that.
You know what I'm saying?
Like
It's
grizzly-
Yeah, but they don't.
Like grizzly-
Generally, they don't eat each other.
No, but if a
a grizzly bear would.
will eat its cub
Yeah.
to survive, to feed the rest of the cubs.
Well, not to feed the rest of the cubs.
Well,
to
it's
feed
got to
itself.
survive, but they're gonna suck on a tit or something. But fucking, I'm just saying, like you have
Right,
to be
but
in
we're not-
dire
we're not.
survival.
I was watching.
I
Right.
don't think I would. If I was in an internment camp, and it was me and Crespo, you're dead.
But see, here's the scenario: is you or them, and it's not necessarily that they're trying to murder you. It's not you or them versus you. It's
So-
it's cold-blooded murder
So you-
for your
Right.
survival.
So you are in internment camp with Crespo.
Yeah.
You're both laying in a bunk, and you haven't eaten in 5 days.
I'll die.
And Crespo's asleep, and you have a rock.
Never.
You don't beat Crespo with it.
No, that's insane.
That's not
I
dire
will-
enough.
There is no. Here's the thing.
I'm just saying.
I would never, there is no situation that would ever be dire enough
Right.
for me to cold-blooded murder an innocent,
Like if you've never met this person, never
they're not
seen this
they're not a
person.
threat to me. They're not attacking me.
Right.
It's just I got to plot, scheme, murder them so that I can live. I'll die.
So
I will
what
just-
if
I'll die.
If a Nazi guard walks in and he turns his back and you have a rock.
That's different. That's not the same scenario.
Do you
That's a
eat the
Nazi
guard?
guard. That's the guy who
Do
is
you eat the
interning me.
guard?
No, I'm not eating people.
Oh God! All right, don't eat people.
But
He just comes walking out with a suit on, just like
don't scheiße und I'm working here.
just keep on going.
Ain't you then? That to me like, wait a minute, that guy's a little dark.
That guy's a little dark.
But no, there's no
I mean, that's
possible
good to,
scenario.
That's good to know. You have morals when it comes to killing people. Some people don't. They be like, "Fuck it, bye."
Right. But so I think that dude is wrong
Yeah.
because I don't think that is in all of us.
I'm not a rapper.
Not a rapper.
I mean, there's a lot of situations where I guess humanity.
I mean, if
would
it
prove
was
that
a
proves
fight
itself.
and it's me, I would kill someone to survive.
Right.
I'm
but
not
I mean,
against
you
that.
gotta look at like humanity.
But it's like, okay, there's an old lady or something, and I'm with her,
Right.
and I could bash this old lady's head in with a rock and eat her to survive. Or the guards are like fucking bash this old lady's head in to live, I'll be like, you can shoot me now, please.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Because that's, I don't know, fucked up.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to
There's
go
a
to
lot
hell
of-
if I
there's
do
a-
it or not.
There's
But
a lot of fucked
I
up
could not
stuff. Like
feel right with myself in the universe to
Like-
do that ever.
I was talking to Justin the other day, and we were talking about World War II, and he was saying like some of the Nazi guards, like they would round up a bunch of ladies, and then the
Right.
yes, like so then the colonel of the group would line up all the girls, and then all the soldiers had to rape them, and if you didn't, he shot you. And I was like, bro, it's fucked up.
See, that's tough because I don't know if I wouldn't not do that. Like, I might preserve my life in that situation.
I'm just
That bitch over there been wanting to fuck. She shot down.
Like, that's definitely an evil
so she about to get
being committed.
yeah, like would you die?
But man, I would feel, I'm not killing her. And I would be nice. I try, like, look.
Give me this pussy, bitch. I tried to ask you out on a date to the festival. You said no.
I mean, but in that situation,
If I was forced,
yeah,
like, I'd be like, look, we're kind of both being raped in this scenario, all right?
right.
So
So if the guard came in and said, "Kill Crespo and eat him,"
no, then they're going to shoot me.
Oh.
But I'm not, if they came in and said, rape Crespo, I'd be like, Crespo,
I'll kill you, nigga.
I'm sorry.
oh my god,
I wish we had a gun drop on here. There's a gun in here.
I mean, yeah, like I mean, in that
Because I'm not
situation,
killing him.
You're not. I mean, but
I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't want to do this.
like,
You're going to live with this,
like I could see how
can survive.
that scenario if you survived it, Crespo just 20 years.
You're going to
later.
be traumatized.
Remember
We
that
both
time
are.
you raped me? I said I was sorry.
We were both raped.
I said I was sorry. Oh, you know the circumstances. We were in a internment camp.
But man, yeah, that's a rough one. But
'Cause
yeah,
that-
I think that might be where my evil.
Your pendulum swings there,
Yeah,
buddy. Like your fucking scale, just like, I'll rape, but I'm not killing.
I mean, what's worse? Would you rather be dead or raped?
I mean, that's true, but I mean, oh yeah, those times.
If
would
my
suck,
choice
man.
was rape or death,
I mean, because a lot of people chose the latter.
I'll
so
take
they could
rape.
live.
I'm sorry.
Like,
Don't
I mean,
kill me.
Nazis chose the latter. Like I said,
I mean, I guess depending on, if, I don't know. If I'm like fully like immobilized for life and like disfigured or some shit, like just fucking kill me.
right.
I don't want to be tortured
right.
to death.
I mean,
I mean, rape would be torture, but like, come on,
Torture.
yeah.
at least be nice.
Every time I think of rape, I think of that scene from Pulp Fiction, Poor Ving Rhames.
Yeah, but would he rather be dead? You think he rather would have got his head cut off?
I
Or
mean, because
if you asked, fuck, what was his name?
Bruce Willis,
No,
the Gimp,
what was Ving Rhames' character's name in the movie?
Marcellus Wallace.
Marcel. If you ask Marcellus Wallace,
Okay.
like, hey, it's years later, like, hey, dog, you remember how they was like, Bruce Willis and Marcellus Wallace are sharing a blunt. He's like, hey, man, you remember when you was like, oh, getting raped and I cut that dude's head off to save you?
And then he looks at him like, remember when I told you not to talk about that shit?
He's like, yeah, but it's just me and you.
I mean, in that situation, Ving Rhames got the last laugh because
Right.
he called some hard pipe hitting niggas.
right. But
But
if Bruce Willie was like, would you rather have died than like if you could just die and not get raped? Would you do that, man? I don't know why Bruce Willis is an old stoner.
if Bruce Willis would have never got out of the car,
I don't think Marcellus Wallace. I don't know if Marcellus Wallace would be like, yeah, you should. I would have. Wish I would have just been dead. Them motherfuckers should have killed me before they raped me.
I get it,
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't,
but yeah, that situation,
because he did get the last laugh.
he did, but he also got raped by a guy in a leather
That's
suit.
true. and that memory can never be erased from his brain.
I mean, as long as, you know. Perfect. But also, if Bruce Willis goes and tells everyone, should Ving Rhames feel shameful or?
That would be fucked up of Bruce Willis in that scenario. Bruce Willis in a just society,
Yeah.
everyone would shame Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
For if he was like, hey, you know, Ving Rhames got raped. He got raped. I had to come in and save him. He was getting raped up. In a proper just society, they'd be like, hey, man, that's fucked up. They was raping him and shit. You saved him, and now you gonna try to fucking air him out like that?
Yeah. You don't,
Fuck you.
You got to keep that story to yourselves.
Yeah. You shut that shit down.
Yeah, because you can't bring that up later. Like, Quincy, remember that time Crespo got raped
Because
and you saved him? Like,
it is somewhat shameful for Ving Rhames to be raped.
Okay.
And I mean, not necessarily. I don't think that's. You shouldn't necessarily be it shouldn't be like a good thing, obviously, but you shouldn't be ashamed of yourself for being raped.
I mean, it was like, nigga, go.
But I guess it is like if you're a dude in society, like you don't want if you went to prison and got raped, you don't want nobody to know.
Right.
That's shame.
Right.
And I mean, it shouldn't be that way, but it should. Like, you don't want it to be like, hey, man, when I was in prison, they was all raping me and shit, and like, it wasn't no big deal. But I mean, you know, then I was dropping the soap and these motherfuckers, like, like, yeah, it shouldn't be something that's not shameful. Like, that's, I don't know.
I mean, there's a lot of things you be shameful. Like,
it's very bad that it happened, and it shouldn't happen to you.
Like shit in your pants.
Well, that should be shameful. That's what do you? Unless you're a baby, if you get this, you're a toddler. If you shit your pants, you should be ashamed of yourself. In any situation, I don't care what it is.
I ain't gonna lie. When I was like 13, I had a really bad stomach flu.
Nigga, quit trying to lie and say you had the flu.
I definitely had. I was throwing up and shit, and I was running to the bathroom because I knew like I had like it was coming. I had real bad diarrhea the whole time, and I was throwing up, and I fucking like sneezed, and I could just feel this shit like running down my legs, like long johns. Yeah. And I ain't gonna lie, I just took them bitches and threw them in the trash. I was like, "Mom's ain't."
Yeah, them is done. Yeah, you go on and get some new ones.
Yeah, man. Those things happen.
I can't. Like, I'm trying to remember. I don't remember exactly how old it was. Maybe I was like 13, 14, something like that.
Oh, so you also pooped on yourself?
Yeah, of course. Everyone has shit on themselves.
Everybody,
and you should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah.
For doing so.
I remember when I was.
But I've done it.
I think it was 2001. So yeah, I was like 14. And
24.
Because that's way too old to be shitting on yourself.
Because I was at my aunt's house and I was sick as fuck. Like,
I wasn't sick.
My stomach was just all fucked up. Like I was, and then I was scooting to the bathroom, just like doing the old penguin walk, and like I sneezed, and it just was like somebody took.
He just jacked my story.
That happened to me, man.
A sneeze will get you.
The sneeze always.
Sneezes are dangerous when you're sick.
How'd you shit on yourself?
Mine was a sneeze
You said
too.
you were 14.
It was like
I was like 14 or 15.
You're definitely 17.
Yeah, well, yes. All right. So yesterday, no, like
what?
My mom's had just dropped me off at my dad's girlfriend's house or whatever for the weekend. I was staying over there, and I was.
Oh, this is at the beginning of the weekend.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. So I don't have all my clothes or anything either. I definitely wasn't sick. I don't remember what the fucking problem was. I think I was just trying to like risk it, maybe. Like I was gonna walk to the library because there was fucking jack shit to do at the house, and like they had computers there. You could like fucking play Magic School Bus.
Oh shit.
And fucking like look up song lyrics and shit.
Yeah.
And that was about it. But that was the internet then, I guess.
Yeah, facts.
And I guess maybe I thought I could make it to the library before.
Ooh, you was outside.
Yeah, and I was wearing overalls.
Oh.
I remember that.
Oh God.
Or maybe I was coming back from the library.
Well, that's good. At least you
Either way, I was either going there or, I mean, it was like 15-minute walk or whatever, but I was on my way walking there and all hell broke loose.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
And I don't remember why. I guess it was all of a sudden. Like, I don't know.
Shit, what'd you do? You turned back?
Oh,
and went
yeah, and
home?
had to turn back like, uh-oh. And then had to fucking, throw them fucking bitches away and
Just come
Pops
back.
was like, what?
tell my dad when he got there, like, yeah, I shit on myself.
Where were your clothes at?
Well, I had other clothes with me, but I had to change, like, into some other shit. Like, well, them is done.
So you and Quincy went to the library yesterday.
I definitely wasn't about to go to the library with some shitty drawers,
Oh God!
shitty britches.
Can I play Magic School Bus online?
Please.
It's like, excuse me, sir.
You got a
walk
young,
this smell
crying, shitty kid in here?
When they see you in the back. Oh man, that shit was too funny on Saturday when we were acting the damn fool. We were up in fucking Burlington.
Yeah, I walked in. Sir, you were walked in smelling like it.
That security guard just looked at us like that. And I was like, oh.
I mean, it's not
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they're going to get anybody that's like,
I mean, I don't even think security guards can he's not a security guard. He's loss prevention. So I don't think he can technically even touch you.
that's the one guy that
He's there
just
as a
gets-
deterrence.
He gets to call the police.
Yeah.
Because he's not stopping anyone running out of there.
Hey, excuse me, there's some niggas in here stealing.
He's
Which way they go? I think they're on the highway.
he's not stopping anybody.
Yeah. But I mean, it's kind of a deterrent. I mean, he watch, be like, hey, nigga, I see you stealing, and then some people won't steal. You'll cut it down, I would imagine.
Look,
Yeah.
I got a video for that security guard.
What is it on World Star?
Of course.
Yo.
No, we're going to go to Freddie Gibbs on the 29th, but I kind of want to turn back and go on May 29th and go see Griselda. Benny the Butcher, and
Griselda.
West Side Gun, and Conway the Machine. Sounds kind of dope, but I don't know. Probably got to stack. I got other shit coming up.
Yeah. Same got Vegas in October.
Nice.
By the way, tomorrow, Skankfest tickets,
At
11 a.m.
You got to send me the link.
I'll send you the link.
Okay.
But if possible, try to do it from a computer, probably.
Can't.
But I did it from my phone when I got my ticket, so it's not impossible. But
Yeah.
the site
I'll be at work by
is
that.
probably going to crash. So if it says error or something like that, fucking reload it. Keep trying. And start trying at 10:58 or some shit, 10:55.
Okay.
Make sure have this page loaded or something, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Cuz
Yeah.
tickets are going to sell out.
This is Crespo running and the security guard trying to stop him.
Okay, let's
It's a quick 10-second video.
see. Homie got vaporized. Dude is playing the wrong sport. So, oh my god.
All right, Crespo's got clothes. Oh, sir, can you stop?
Damn.
And then you keep going with your Nikes or your Burlington Pumas.
Hey, that dude got blown up.
That dude got up and was like, I'm done.
I mean, dude, if you should be able to do that more in baseball. That would make it more interesting.
Facts.
You should be able to run with the bat and then use it as a defense
As a weapon?
mechanism when you get to bases.
And then you should have some sort of thing you hold in your other hand that
definitely a
could
tackle,
block
Like a
that.
shield.
And then yeah.
But
and then the other guys
they have electric batons.
something like that. And then the bat should be more thinner and maybe honed to some sort of edge with a handle.
You're gonna hit a ball.
Well, I mean, you could get rid of that. Maybe replace the ball with use some sort of device and replace the ball with
Is this
an
medieval times?
iron substance, and then you use some sort of apparatus to shoot it.
Sounds like
And then you have the other guys with similar, I guess, shields, you called it, and then these sharp bats, and then they fight each other like that.
no.
This is niggas with swords and shields, fighting on a battlefield. That would make it more interesting.
No.
You can't have fucking niggas swinging bats at each other.
Why not?
Because people would die.
People would die.
What you over there doing, big fella?
So
I need another video to send real quick.
No, too late, big fella.
It don't
We're
let
already
me
live.
save the shit no more.
no. Man, so you think they should allow?
I was about to go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Man, fucking that show Atlanta that I've been telling you about.
Yeah.
So the first 2 seasons are great.
Uh-huh.
This new season that just came out,
Ass.
ass.
Is it? What's wrong with it?
Ass. It's like all about fucking race and racism and shit.
Oh,
They
imagine that.
They got woke, man. That shit is sad. Like the first episode.
What, how does
the
it?
first episode was funny. But it was
What's
also
it?
kind of like, man, this is really not what I'm used to seeing from Atlanta like that.
What was the part that turned you off? Like, or that you started noticing
like the
that made you go, "Hey, what the fuck?"
Okay, so like, they were in they were like in Amsterdam or some shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're all at this house party, and one of the main characters in the show is Lakeith Stanfield,
Yeah.
and he's at the party, and he's walking through the kitchen, and there's this girl right there, and he says, "Hey, excuse me." She turns around, she's like, "Oh, sorry, I'm married," and he was like, "Oh, okay, cool. Can you pass me that bottle that's behind you?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm real sorry. You know, just black guys, you know, they always hit on me because I'm Asian." And then he was like, "Oh, all right, cool." Like, you know, he's just being like, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just like walks away. And then like this white guy walks to him. He's like, "Man, that fucking bitch, that was so fucking racist." He was like, "Man, I don't really care." Like, I just
Yeah,
got my
like,
drink, you know,
okay,
I ain't tripping
whatever.
like that. And then this fucking white guy goes back and gets like this whole fucking mob. And like, they pretty much is like, at the end of this episode, like the bitch just gets like harassed by a bunch of white people. And it just like certain parts of it was funny. Like, I'm not saying like the episode was trash.
I mean,
but
the way
I
you're
just-
explaining that so far, it sounds like they're not woke. It sounds like they're making fun of wokeness, because if Lakeith Stanfield, which I would almost like
but
assume,
all the episodes have
he's
been
woke.
about racism. I'm just like, man, like that's not really what the show's about.
Well, I want to hear more examples, but from what you just explained
It's still
there,
funny, but it's not.
Hold on. From what you just explained, it to me, it sounds like what they were doing in that scenario is Lakeith Stanfield, the black guy,
Yeah.
Black guys.
here's a could be potentially considered a offensive or racist comment from a person of
Right.
a non-white race, an Asian woman, and he's just like, whatever, takes it as not, doesn't bother him at all.
Right.
But the white guy, who it affects him none, it's none of his fucking business, is the one who calls out, "Oh, that's racist," and he gets a whole mob of white people to go attack this Asian woman for a racist comment that the black guy didn't even care about.
Okay, I guess when you
That
explain-
sounds like they're like, look at this ridiculous woke nonsense.
Okay, you're right.
Chris was like,
It-
I'm
but
gonna
then
go
the
watch
first-
it.
In that scenario, which I have never watched the
That's
show,
exactly how the
and I
episode
would assume that it was woke potentially, but I've never watched it. But to me, that sounds like they're kind of against it or making fun of it a little bit. What is your other examples? Because
Okay, so the first-
that's one example. So
Okay.
maybe they.
All right, so the very first episode of season 3, after Atlanta hasn't been on for like 2 years, it comes out to where it's this black kid, and it, I think it's like current. It's definitely current times. So this black kid's at home with his mom, and just like typical shit. She's like, you want punishment? Turn the TV off. And then one day, fucking Child Protective Services shows up because he was at school, and his teacher like seen how his mom was like, "Get your ass in the car." It's like regular shit.
Yeah,
if
just
you
like
black,
a strict mama.
Yeah. So she calls Child Protective Services on her, and when they show up,
Like
the
they
mom-
didn't see anything. They just seen her talk to him
Right.
slightly aggressively.
well, not yeah. That's what happened in the school. So when they showed up, like they didn't even make it in the fucking house. The lady looked at her son. She was like, "You called Child Protective Service on me?" He was like, "No, I didn't do that." She was like, "Get the fuck out of the house." Like, packed up all his shit and threw his ass out the house. So he got adopted by like this gay white couple, and they're like on some hippie shit on the outside. Like they're like, oh, they make their own kombucha. When he shows up, like the fucking house stinks. And then like the first night, she's like, "Oh, I'm making fried chicken." And when it's fucking dinner time, it's like some vegan, like fake ass thing that looks like a chicken leg, but it's not. And it's just like, it just looked disgusting. And they're like using the kids to do like free slave labor. And they're saying hella racist shit like, "Oh, sing a song." So he was like, singing like, "I got the racks on me," singing like a hip hop song. And she's like, "No, sing something more like, oh, I've been working all day."
I might have to fucking watch this show.
I thought it was pretty fucking
It sounds like they're against wokeness.
But at the end of the fucking episode, it's fucking 3 of the kids that they've been abusing this shit. So oh shit, there's a fucking mouse that went behind that fucking thing right over there. I just seen his ass.
Well, don't say that on the podcast.
God
No niggas
damn,
know
this
there's a
nigga
mouse
just
in the
caught
house.
me.
What the fuck?
Motherfucker just caught.
Quit being a little bitch. Shut up about
Hey
it.
man, that motherfucker just caught me off guard.
Continue.
The nigga on my damn shoestrings.
God damn it. I'm trying to present a fucking
Anyway.
rich environment here. Fuck you.
Anyway, we rich, nigga. It happens. Anyway, the jig is up because the social services got called on them by their neighbor. So when they show up, the social worker sees like all the red flags. She was like, "Oh, I see that there's no food in the fridge and the house stinks and this, that, and the other." So like they fucking pack the kids up in the middle of the fucking night and tell them that they're going to the Grand Canyon and shit. But the black kids is hip. So they fucking driving, and then they fucking pull over and like let their dog go, and they drive off. They get ready to drive off the cliff, and they see one of the kids wake up in the back, and the nigga like hops in the sleeping bag and like tucks out the back of the van,
Like the gay white couple, they're gonna drive off the
fucking bridge,
the Grand Canyon, or whatever.
into it. Well, they ended up.
They're gonna
driving
kill the
off-
kids.
Yeah, they were gonna kill themselves as well.
Yeah.
So they fucking drove off the bridge, and it ended up just being them and the dog in the car. The kids got out,
Yeah.
but
To me, what this sounds like is a commentary on how black culture,
okay,
from these 2 examples you gave me, this is what I'm gathering,
yes, sir.
is how black culture does not jive with wokeness. That's what it sounds like to me, because they're taking a black kid from his black mother and they're putting him in a white gay household, all woke with this vegan shit, and they're making, even you said the food looked disgusting. If they were trying to present it as something great, the food would look amazing and the kids would be loving it, and they would move into this family, in this household with
it
this
was a
gay
million
family.
times worse.
It would be wonderful, and they'd show you how great it is to be with this, in this 2-dad scenario. And then they try to kill the fucking kids, but the black kids are smart enough. They're like, "Nah, I'm hip to this shit," and they escape and get like. That sounds like they're saying this shit it don't work. Black people don't jive with this woke bullshit.
I tell you what's a bullshit ass movie.
I might have to start watching Atlanta just based on that.
I
You
got
might-
one more episode, I guess, to discuss, and then go ahead.
I mean, I tell you what's a bullshit ass movie that I thought was some woke dumb shit. You seen Candyman?
I
No,
didn't see
but
that
I heard,
movie.
but I already knew it was gonna be based on whatever
It's
the
trash
fuck,
bag.
police brutality nonsense.
It's trash.
What'd you see it on?
I just watched it on TV.
Oh,
On the whatever
Nigga,
whatever it was on.
nigga, you gonna show me how to do that before I leave? 'Cause
Shut your
I
fucking mouth.
want to know how to watch TV
On TV.
on TV.
You
just
turn
turn your
the
TV
TV
on.
on and you flip to the channel and it plays stuff. It's crazy, bro.
Okay, so the last episode of Atlanta that I was watching the other day was about reparations.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it started off where like people were using that history thing, like that history tree, like where you can find out what your DNA,
Ancestry.com.
ancestries,
Or whatever the fuck.
so they can find out like where you come from, how you got your last name. So a lot of black people were finding out that they were owned obviously by white
Yeah,
people.
they used to be slaves.
So people were pulling up and like, your great great grandfather owned my great great grandfather, and you own me money, motherfucker. Motherfuckers was pulling up like asking for $3 million and shit, and white people were like going crazy, and it was fucked up. Like motherfuckers was like losing their families, their jobs, and
Who was?
the white people?
Like they had to pay
Yeah.
like the money and stuff.
at the end of the episode, one guy like pretty much ended up like having to wait tables as a job, and he had to give like 15%
So hold on. So
to
let me get
his,
this
like,
straight.
Slave.
So yeah, so the black person would go on Ancestry, whatever, and find out that they were saved, and then they could just go to the white person and be like, I need $3 million, and they would be forced to pay him.
Yeah.
Okay, that's hilarious.
Okay, you're gonna watch Atlanta now.
I'm gonna have to watch Atlanta. It almost sounds like I don't know if it's you necessarily, or maybe what has happened. Like you called it woke. Like you said, you thought that they went all woke, but to me, it sounds like the exact opposite of that they're being negative about. They're showing how ridiculous it would be if black people, if you could just go to a white person and demand $3 million and everyone would, then you're homeless and you could just go in a white person's house and just take their house or something. Yeah. Like that's hilarious as a concept, because that's so ridiculous. Because that white person has nothing to do with you or whatever. And the writers of the show or whatever obviously know that. They're pointing out how ridiculous it is. Otherwise, they would show that, oh, well, the white people would be like, you know what, you're right. I need to give you my home because my ancestors were very, very bad to your ancestors. So this is right, Jamal. Let me give you my home. And it would show how everyone worked so prosperously and harmoniously when the white people just gave up all of their money and gave it all to the black people. That would be the woke way of writing that. But they showed you how fucking absurd it would be, which I mean, I didn't know for sure, based on no evidence, which is, I guess, based on the type of people he's potentially connected to, but I would have assumed Donald Glover or whatever would have been more in the woke-ish type of, but
that's you spin it like that.
He seems to get it.
Yeah.
And
it's a great show.
I mean, I like, his Childish Gambino or whatever. I like his music, and he was funny, and I've never not liked the guy or anything like that. I had anything against him. I just never watched that show. Yeah. But I'll probably have to start fucking watching it.
It's good.
But
the first 2 seasons are amazing.
What it seems like potentially is maybe you or certain people, because maybe other people are calling it or not liking the show and saying, oh, this is woke or whatever the fuck. They've almost you've confused people from all of the other woke shit where it's hard to see what's woke and what's not. And so something that's actually a message seemingly against wokeness.
Okay.
To you is seeming woke, and you're like, oh, fuck that's woke. And then the message is missed on you or other people or whatever, because by seeing any hint of the woke people have, tainted the view of everyone, really, of any kind of racial conversation, where you see any hint of it, it's all about fucking race. Here they go with this woke shit. And it's,
go with this
and so they're able to stop people from making fun of it almost, or stop people from seeing the absurd. The purpose of comedy is to point out the absurdity in certain things in everyday life. And I think comedians and just comedy in general has an extreme social importance, because if you're somebody constantly getting made fun of, like, what the fuck can we do to Bill Gates? Nothing. Not a goddamn thing. But we can fucking rip on him.
Right.
And if it was like a whole thing, Bill Gates does not like it. No human would. If the whole world, if everybody was ripping on Bill Gates, like, you've seen him doing interviews or whatever, talking about you hanging out with Epstein, were you a fucking pedophile, or like, he doesn't want there to be the message of everybody out there calling him a pedophile, ripping on him or whatever the fuck, essentially. Like, that's the power of making fun of somebody. Like, you can that's social shaming somebody,
Yeah.
making fun of them. That's
mean,
what comedians do, and
you
then
gotta
so you're
make
like,
fun
oh,
of-
that's hilarious, that's absurd.
You gotta make fun of shit.
Because a funny like stand-up joke, what is oftentimes in a funny joke, like either internally or even externally, sometimes you're like, oh, I do that, or they do that, like that's true, oh my God, that does happen. They're just pointing out something that people do that's
Yeah.
fucking ridiculous, that nobody really thinks is ridiculous, but when they put it in a certain way, you're like, oh my God, that's fucking ridiculous. We do that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that makes
if you
sense.
can't do that, then you can be brainwashed into believing whatever fucking absurd nonsense, doing just
You gotta make fun of stuff.
whatever the common narrative is. I'm with current issue.
You gotta make fun of shit.
Exactly.
One of my favorite episodes of comedy is Mr. Bigsby.
Clayton Bigsby.
After
Yeah.
40 years of
Yeah,
being
because-
with your wife.
Idiots who
that
take shit
is
too literal, who
fucking
don't,
hilarious.
who are either being disingenuous and do understand what he's doing, or just too simple-minded to understand there's different levels to how somebody is commenting on something, but they will disingenuously or whatever be like, oh well, that's racist, how could Dave Chappelle do a
That's
thing
hilarious.
like that where he's saying the N-word all the time and he's being white, like,
It's hilarious.
but no, he's pointing out how absurd being racist and being in the Klan and all that stuff is. And he's saying, look at how stupid these people are. Look at how dumb and absurd it is to fucking be a racist. That there's a black dude who's blind and they told him he was white, so he's a racist. But it makes no sense. That's absurd that he's black and he's racist. Look
didn't
how
go
absurd
along
that
with
is.
it, but
And
no.
that's why it's funny.
That shit's hilarious. That's one of my favorite shit.
And it's bringing shame upon,
yeah.
because you don't want to be Clayton Bigsby. You're like, oh, you're one of these fucking retard Clayton Bigsby motherfuckers.
Uncle
like
Ruckus and
yeah,
shit.
exactly.
Yeah.
Uncle Ruckus is bringing shame to people who act in the way that Uncle Ruckus does, because it's so absurd that he's a fat fucking pop-eyed black dude
Like
who just
fucking-
loves the white man. Like,
yeah, like Samuel's character in Django.
Raise a white
Yeah.
man.
why is that funny?
That shit's hilarious.
Because it's absurd.
Yes.
Not to say the white man couldn't pork better, but it's my white man is doing greater things,
Yeah.
like fighting wars and solving math problems.
Because we know it's ridiculous
Black man ain't
that
too
to
bad
think
at cooking pork.
that black people can't fight wars or solve math problems or whatever. Like, everybody knows without even thinking about it that that's absurd.
So it makes
So you, without control, like beyond your control, you outburst in laughter or whatever the fuck. Like,
That's a nice little field trip for you children. You too. This a look into the future.
the people were fucking. Comedy is lost on a lot of people nowadays, or they're trying to fucking get rid of it.
I mean,
It seems
and
like.
I mean, comedy, like they just make it. I mean, they took like a serious situation in the Boondocks, like Chris Hansen, and make it hilarious.
Yes.
Like, oh, I know who you are,
Dude, that's
I
why.
likes you and I won't.
because like obviously that dude walking out to weirdos trying to meet people, like that's fucked up shit. But
See,
to
they
make
call you
fun
Chris
of it,
Hansen, but I calls you Chris Hansen.
Dude, that's why. I mean, almost. I think I'm even just realizing this myself.
See, I
As much as it almost maybe pains me to say, my favorite podcast is the Legion of Skanks. Like, and the only reason it would pain me, like, I like it better than I like Joe Rogan's podcast now. I mean, Joe Rogan's still number 2, but they are willing to do pure absurd comedy and make fun of things. They'll say the things you can't, the naughty words, because they're pointing out at how absurd things are, and how I can't say this or whatever the fuck, or they're willing to still make the fun. All they care about is what's funny,
right?
and people are so easily offended and butthurt now just because they just hear words and they don't want to hear the context of something.
Yeah.
Like you just hear Dave Chappelle say, well, naggers, Jews. And you're like, well, he's obviously a racist. I need hear no more. Don't even show me anything. Like, there's a whole thing, and he's doing a thing. Like, it's funny why he's saying those things. These aren't magic words that just, I've heard it, and now generations of my ancestors are feeling pain and suffering.
Like he told that monkey to quit beating on his hood. I said the same thing.
Like, that's funny.
That's hilarious. Oh man, just like I would laugh the whole time watching Django.
Yes.
Like,
I need to watch that movie again.
Dude, watching that movie is so fucking hilarious.
Like, dude, people.
I gave you my last apple. Boom.
And people wanted to fucking. I give. Leonardo DiCaprio is probably an insane person.
Probably.
Because he's a Hollywood dude. He's
an A-lister.
He's been in that business. He's royalty. He's a part of that royalty club. For sure.
Crazy person.
I would err on.
Thinks he likes it when bitches shit on his chest.
I mean, maybe not necessarily like that, but I would err.
He did Glorious Bastards, didn't he?
No, he did Django. Here's what I.
No, that was Brad Pitt.
That was Brad Pitt. I'm talking Leonardo DiCaprio.
He's a crazy person.
Here's what I'm getting at, though. I would imagine he's probably a crazy person because he's. I would err on more the side of that.
Yeah.
But given that, I give him mad respect, even though it was a different time, and I'd be interested to hear what he has to say about it now. But he said nigger all the time in fucking Django.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said,
I mean, you know.
But you know what's crazy? Is like,
but he's playing a character. He's not. Yeah. I don't think Leonardo DiCaprio's a racist and goes around being like, these fucking niggers.
Like Quentin Tarantino.
But if I met Leonardo DiCaprio,
yeah,
and I heard him say nigga or something, it would be hilarious. I would be like, oh, bro, he's a real human. So he's a real dude. Okay, all right.
The first time I heard a white person say the N-word in a movie was watching Pulp Fiction. Whenever Quentin Tarantino was like, does it say dead nigger storage on my yard?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When the first time I heard that, I was like, what the fuck? Like, oh, shit.
I don't know if that was the first time I seen it.
That's like, because that movie came out in like 94.
Yeah.
So,
but that
was like the first time I heard a white person say it.
And people want to try to say Tarantino's a racist.
But no, like.
But why then? If he's so racist and hates black people so much, why is Samuel Jackson in all his fucking
Samuel
movies?
Jackson in all of his movies, like The Hateful Eight, he was an evil son bitch.
Yes,
I love that movie.
But I mean, it's a movie.
Your son never got that blanket.
He's Quentin Tarantino is a real ass dude. Like he's in that Hollywood thing, but he's not. Yeah. Like he's not in the club. I think he may have been corrupted.
Samuel?
Yes. Because he works for Disney.
Yeah. What about Wesley Snipes?
No, he doesn't. He got locked up and he's been shunned. He's not in. What's the last thing he was in?
I don't know. He was in something.
Yeah, Wesley Snipes is not in the club.
He was Blade.
Yeah, exactly. He was. I mean, he was in there for a minute, and then he started listening to some retard who's like, well, you actually don't have to pay taxes because taxes and blah blah blah. Like. Yeah. That's all true and stuff. Tell that to the guys with the guns who are going to come lock you in a cage for not paying their money.
But
what about him?
Is he in that club?
Who?
Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg is still cool as hell, but I believe has potentially been compromised to a certain extent. But I don't think he's like fucked up or in any way. He's just like he's not. I don't think he's doing anything against his own morals necessarily. Like he's an older dude now and he's just chill. He's like, well, yeah, whatever, cool. I'm a family guy. Like,
do you think he rubbed on Martha Stewart's booty?
Probably
got some top.
I think that too.
I don't think Martha Stewart sucked his dick.
You probably got her high.
Actually, I would like to think that.
He probably got her high and she was like, I'm so thirsty. He's like,
I got something for you.
Oh, man. Well, one more thing before we go. How about the fights?
The Cool Crush Ice Killer.
Nigga, I tell you what, man. I think Khamzat, he won, but he got fucked up.
Okay, so here's an interesting
and Mackenzie Big Booty Dern.
Bro, Mackenzie Dern. She's She still got a nice turd cutter on her.
Pull a picture up of what she looked like.
But
she almost had
hol-
that nasty.
yes, she's nasty. She's almost not Mackenzie Big Booty Dern anymore though, because she's not quite as thick as she was. She's still bad. Like I mean, I'd still 100% smash.
It's still her nickname though.
Right, for sure. But she weighs the same. I mean, she got her diet right. Like she slimmed down. She lost a lot of body fat, and like you can tell in differences. Like she's fucking shredded now. She's at the same weight, fighting in the same weight class, but has much less body. So she gained muscle, and lost body fat. I ain't hating or nothing.
And she had
but
that bitch's
inevitably,
arm, like,
you know, she's not quite as thick.
right.
You know,
she had that bitch's arm like about to break. She had like a standing Kimura.
Somebody get her a
dude, she was
sourdough.
like, yeah, like how? Which was it? Carlos Esparza or no? Who was it? She was fighting.
I don't know.
I'd have to fucking pull it up.
No, Carla Esparza is gonna
Not Carlos Esparza.
She's fighting what's her face.
It was one further down that had the side shot right there. Yep. Up. Yep.
Okay, so I mean, this is old though. She's not that thick anymore. She still got, she got ass. She bad, but she's not even. These are older pictures. She's not. Even in her face, she's slimmer.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily. It's not bad, but I wouldn't say it's good.
It's better than being.
Oh, you don't like chicks with 24 packs anymore?
No, I'm not saying that.
He likes bitches with the 2 Heineken mini kegs.
No, I'm not saying I don't like that. But
In the back
I'm
side.
just saying for her specifically,
Yeah,
I liked her thick. It doesn't matter what the fuck I think,
right.
but
But I get it.
yeah, there are some. I mean, it's not that I prefer a bitch with that's shredded with fucking abs or anything like that. I don't think I do. I like it. It's cool. Like if to smash like Claudia Gadelha or some shit or Valentina Shevchenko. Like yeah, they're shredded. They're hot. I would love to smash. But also at the same time, if Claudia Gadelha maybe stopped training a little bit, maybe her legs and her butt got a little bit thicker, and maybe she got a little tiny pooch kind of thing. Like maybe she might be hotter. You know?
Like a Rachel Ostovich bitch.
Yes, exactly.
Nailed it.
Like who?
Rachel Ostovich. You know who? I mean, you've seen her
Nailed
before.
it. Crespo doesn't know who that is. Well, let's talk about Gilbert Burns and Kamzat.
Yeah, we got turned on to talking.
It's funny he can
MMA
spell
host.
these bitches' names correctly, but I told this nigga
I
to
typed it
spell-
wrong.
I told this nigga to spell Google. This nigga start with G O A.
Goagle? Is it Goagle? Hold on. Do I have safe search on? Yes, I do. What am I doing? Which I mean, still yeah, okay. See, that did get us better pictures. But I mean, she's still fit for sure. But
She
I mean,
fight in
that's her
UFC?
cutting weight. She did.
But
She doesn't anymore. She got cut.
Oh,
She got
But I mean, because honestly, you probably can't really be that fucking hot and thick and also be like a championship fighter.
correct.
hey, but she
Because
she know how to
you know
throw
what's
them hands,
fucked?
though.
Because
Because all of the best
You know what's
female
fucked up?
fighters are not like dime like
Right.
Man, the
That-
that's not
she-
a dime.
No.
no. What are you
Are
crazy?
you on drugs?
You think she's a 10? Like Amanda Nunes is like a god damn, look at that bitch.
No,
do you
is.
think that's because Amanda Nunes is like, I was smash just to say she's a fucking lesbomancer.
What if
She's like
what if
masculine.
What if she had
kind
like
of.
old pics of her, like when she was like still
No.
dressed?
No,
she's
Amanda
a
Nunes
dude.
could look better if she
Yeah.
feminized herself and like wore a dress and had
But
long
she's
hair.
like a dude.
But she's not a dime. Amanda Nunes isn't like, oh my God, you see that bitch? You see that ass? Like, that's what you would say if you seen this.
Walking down.
Yes, if you were at the beach and you would be like,
Damn.
you see that shit?
Where's my rings at?
Like,
Damn.
Or like, what's that one chick's name? God damn it.
Your mama?
No,
Amanda Rebus?
something Page. I forget that bitch's name. Quincy knew who I'm talking about.
Paige Van Zant.
Yeah,
Yeah, Paige. I'd say Rachel Ostovich is hotter, but
Oh yeah.
I mean, okay, okay, I'll do it, but
Nah.
she's not like that's not. You wouldn't see that and be like, oh god damn, you see that?
You see that?
God damn, like, come on, she could be hotter, but she chooses not to be because she's she likes the punching.
She's a dude.
What if she snatched you up in a club?
No, I would smash 100%.
But if
No
it-
question.
But if that wasn't Amanda Nunez and it was just some random lady was like, "Hi, Quincy,"
I would still smash.
oh, Quincy'd still smash.
Well, and like, I'm not saying she's ugly.
Yeah,
I would still smash 100%. But
she kind of looks like a dude.
because she does that to herself, she shortens her hair and she whatever,
Yeah.
and she
She's
yeah. But
Put my bass in my voice.
yeah,
It's me, Amanda Nunes.
what?
but you didn't even fucking watch the fights. Did you
I went to sleep.
see any of the results or anything?
No. I know
You didn't even look them up.
Shaba.
You didn't even fucking
Shaba.
prepare for the fucking podcast. How dare you?
Aljamain Sterling want to know that.
Yeah.
You did.
Okay, so interesting point of contention here. I'd be interested to get your take.
And a nigga that didn't get touched got touched.
Yeah, Kamzat, he got
pieced up.
he ate a lot of shots.
Boom. Touch.
I don't. Dana White thinks the judges got it wrong
For what?
for Aljamain Sterling, and
Word?
I don't know. I'd have to go back and rewatch it, but I mean, he isn't like, oh, this is fucking bullshit, but. He in the after post fight interview or whatever, he was like, yeah, I don't know what those judges were thinking or whatever. He was like, I think he said he thought Piotr won. He said he had it scored round 1 for Piotr Jan, so it'd be 3-2.
Yeah.
But
I mean, because Peter was piecing him up on the
he was like, I don't know how you scored it or whatever, but I had it 3-2 Piotr Jan.
because on the
But
on the
I don't know. At the time watching it, I was like, okay, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
because I watched the fight and
I'd have to watch it again.
I don't think Peter Yan was in any sort of real danger. Yes, he was in a triangle lock, and
He didn't
Aljamain was getting him.
hurt necessarily. Like,
But dude-
there was no major
But every time Piotr
Piotr Jan.
punched Aljamain would duck or drop.
Aljamain ate some fucking nasty shots. Like, he ducked in a couple of knees.
Like he
I
would,
think.
yeah, and he was on the ground.
And
but
I'm surprised he was still standing.
like rounds 4 and 5, he was getting lit up. But I don't know. I'd have to
getting
give.
lit?
He was getting lit.
I mean, Aljamain definitely won round 2
and 3.
and 3. No question. Because
But he
he
lost 4 and 5 and possibly 1.
might have. I mean, that's what it comes down to is round 1. That's where the contention would be because Jan definitely won round 4 and 5.
They'll fight again.
They're probably going to have to do a trilogy, but
They'll fight next year.
fucking Aljamain was calling out TJ Dillashaw or wherever the fuck. But, I mean, Dana White don't give a fuck about
When
none
the
of that.
fuck is John Jones gonna fight?
Never.
Because he's supposed to be fighting Ngannou.
Supposed to be this year. He's not supposed to be fighting Ngannou. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. Maybe if
when Ngannou fighting again?
I don't know.
Next year.
Next year, probably, yeah.
But he has to resign. He hasn't
Yeah.
resigned yet. Technically, when you're the champion, you win. You automatically.
I mean,
have another
as much
fight.
as it sucks or whatever for like the UFC business wise or whatever, like for them, if the owners of the business or whatever the fuck, just fucking find some way to quietly, without letting everybody know, just give Francis whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
Keep him there. Don't let him go somewhere else.
Yeah.
And just be like, okay, shut the fuck up about this. We're going to give you a shit pile of cash.
Oh, because he's not trying to pay him?
it's not that they're not trying to pay him.
Francis
he
wants
wants
a lot.
more money. He wants a lot of money because he could like go box fucking Tyson Fury and make $30 million or some shit, where he's getting paid probably like $3-4 million or something, maybe $2 million or something whenever per fight in UFC. So yeah, that's a whole lot more money for sure. Or maybe he could.
I would.
And he
love
wants
to
a lot
see
more money,
Ngannou
but
box Tyson Fury.
I'd watch it, but I don't. I want to see Ngannou fight MMA. I would love to see Ngannou MMA fight Tyson Fury.
Would you like to see Francis Ngannou fight a nigga named Jake Paul?
If it was MMA, for sure, I would love to see that.
To be real quick, because he would just be like beep bop boom, see you later to the moon
Because that would
you
just
go.
that would just be an execution.
Because I mean, even if Jake Paul put his hands up to block, the force of the punch,
it would go into Mortal Kombat X-ray mode, and all of the bones in his arm would shatter and then flex and then go into his skull, and then his skull would X-ray, and then it would shatter all the shit into his skull too.
Okay.
It would just be a whole fracture. Just he would punch right through it, and then his fucking arms would be like this, but they'd be all flexed out like that way, like caved in.
I mean, that's how it goes, But I mean, the heavyweight division is gonna be pretty boring until they fucking make a decision.
Yeah. But I mean, I think I'll have to fucking rewatch the Aljamain Sterling fight again and see maybe if I have a different opinion.
Now they got the new hotness in Tai
Awesome.
Tuivasa.
I mean, they do, but okay. So if Ty fights, we'll say Cyril Gaines, after that, you don't have anybody unless you start working at the bottom.
Well,
Curtis Blades will fight someone, but probably one of them. But John Jones ain't fighting anytime soon because he said he wouldn't be ready for he wouldn't be conditioned until June. So they probably wouldn't make a fight until like
what have he been
October.
doing the last couple of years?
Like he wouldn't.
I know he's been putting weight on and shit.
I mean, it's
but
been 2 years, like since
you ain't
he's fought.
conditioned.
So who does he
I don't
fight?
know.
If he fights Stipe, cool. But outside of that, you ain't fighting anybody else.
Yeah, I don't know who he
So-
would fight because I don't think fighting Francis off the jump would be a
Because
smart
he had his
decision.
opportunity to fight Francis, and he said no to that.
Yeah, and who else is there? Stipe,
He can fight Cyril.
I guess. Yeah, but for what? I mean, yeah, I guess that would potentially make sense. Either Stipe or Cyril Gaines, but then
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I don't know if Cyril Gaines beat John Jones. Depending on how the fight was, you could maybe make a case like, okay, then maybe he should get another title shot. But I mean, Francis just worked him, and I really don't think he would beat John Jones just because
After-
John Jones would. Francis beat him with wrestling.
After,
John Jones' background is wrestling, so obviously that's what you do. You wrestle him, and he would stand no chance against John Jones's wrestling. Even John Jones could probably be 205 and still out wrestle a 265 Cyril Gaines,
yeah.
just based on wrestling skills. Because I'm not saying Francis's wrestling sucks or anything, but I know he's new at it compared to some of the other guys. And if you let Francis out wrestle you, what do you think John Jones is going to do?
Yeah.
Somebody who was a college wrestler,
Yeah.
and that's where he started, is wrestling.
How do you think, after watching Khamzat fight Gilbert, and he almost lost?
Yeah, I mean,
You think he's ready for Kamaru Usman?
no.
Because he's gonna get a title shot next
You think so?
after Kamaru fights Leon Edwards.
Oh, when's that happen?
Hmm?
When's Kamara fighting?
I think they said July.
It'll be sometime this year.
What about-
It's
obviously.
gonna be sometime this year, but he's gonna fight Leon Edwards.
That's
What about
cool.
what about the style bender?
He'll fight again this year, but I don't know.
Yeah, he
who
just
he's gonna
fought.
fight. I'm sure he'll fight in the fall. But
Who the fuck
I
did he
don't-
just fight?
He fought fucking Oi from down
Oh
low.
yeah, fucking Robert Whitaker.
I go with my family. And
Yeah.
you know,
You think Izzy will try to step up again to another weight class like he did?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I think he'll stay where he's at and fight.
It's probably better that he stays where he's at.
Because moving up, all the guys he would fight are
Unless he's going to like put on a bunch of weight, and then who knows how much like speed and shit like that and cardio he would lose by doing that. Like he's at his perfect body type. Like
Yeah.
I think Francis naturally, like that's how Francis is supposed to be. Like if he is like at his peak form or whatever. And Adesanya is also in the same, like he naturally at his peak form is a more, he's a fucking thinner, quicker.
And what's
type.
the weight class below them?
Below who?
Izzy.
That would be 170. That's Kamaru. So I mean, Kamaru could maybe go up. I mean, they're cool. They're boys. So I mean, I don't think they would fight each other.
Yeah.
But okay, I don't think that would be. I don't know. I don't think Izzy could even maybe lose enough weight to get to 170. Maybe that would be fucking rough. But if it's Izzy versus Leon Edwards, let's say somehow Leon, which I don't want to say it like that because Leon Edwards has the potential to beat Kamaru Usman. He's good. If I was betting my money, I'm going to put it on Kamaru Usman.
Yeah. I'm a smart man.
But somehow, and you know, Leon Edwards has the belt, and if Izzy fought Leon Edwards, I think that would be not fair for Leon Edwards. Like Izzy would just be too long, and he would just fuck him up.
Yeah.
Because it would be a kickboxing fight. Because I don't think Leon Edwards is going to try to wrestle him for real. Because that's not his style.
Okay.
And at that point, then you're in his world, and you're fucked.
Now, bitch.
Right. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it was a good event, though. You know,
It was good.
fucking...
Korean Zombie got worked.
Yeah, it was sad. I was hoping Korean Zombie would
He got worked.
put up more of a fight. I mean, he was fucking zombie. Like he wouldn't fucking go down. I mean, even Herb Dean stepped in like while he was still standing.
Yeah.
But it was just like he ain't gonna go down.
Like, bro,
Herb was like, all right, like
I've seen enough.
you're not gonna. We know you're not gonna go down. But you're gonna literally be killed while you're standing on your feet
Sir,
and
you've
become
had too many beers.
a literal zombie.
You're done.
He's like dead,
Beat
still alive, like
CTE.
still coming at him.
Oh, you know, I went in there and I punched him in the lips, and you know,
I mean,
oi,
Alexander fucking Volkanovski or whatever is good for sure. Like definitely got to give it. Like never said he wasn't, but I mean I don't really like the dude. I don't like hate him or anything like that. Like oh fuck Alexander Gustafsson, but I mean not Alexander Gustafsson.
I mean,
but
he still lost to Max
Volkanovski.
Holloway. So
But yeah, I
they got-
don't. It sucks for him. Like I can be empathetic to the scenario that like until you fight Max Holloway in a fight where you win,
because he lost both of them fights.
I don't ever really consider you the champion. Sorry, I mean you're the champion. Yeah, I guess
Oi,
you got the belt, but
oi.
I don't think he beat Max Holloway. But
Nope.
maybe I'm biased.
Fuck that
Oi.
guy.
The judging be weird as fuck though.
Yeah, that's true.
Oi,
But I think we can wrap it.
Raparuski.
kids, what did we learn today? Quincy won't eat anyone, but he will rape someone.
That's not the fucking moral of today's story. We may have learned that today.
That's the lesson.
If
what I took away.
my life was
On the
on the line, then yes, rape is not off the table, but cannibalism is, and murder. Well, like, you know,
Open up
cold-blooded murder.
Open up them cheeks. Fuck.
We have an intervention with Young Dukes later on this evening.
For what? What'd I do?
We got another episode coming up later.
Oh, I hate y'all.
Rape.
Hey, y'all.
Roll Up Gas
That's 'cause he was in the
podcast.
Nazi party and they had a gun to his head.
Yeah, they made me do it.
Quincy was there
Okay.
in 36.
Yeah.
Not excusable.
It's still not excusable.
Appreciate y'all checking us out. Another podcast in the bag. We would definitely appreciate that like and that there subscribe if you don't mind. We on all the fucking platforms and shit, you know. Hit us up. We out. Peace.